Hey everybody, Dan Crystal, author of The Lost Art of Relationship. The ability to speak truth into someone's life only comes by permission and is most effective only through a relationship built on trust. And when you are given that permission in a trusting relationship, it absolutely requires more than a healthy dose of humility to give both feedback and to receive it. Now, we're going to come back to this topic as well as some others often, but today we're going to talk about the art of humility. I've learned about humility through many friendships, and one such friendship is with one of the closest friends I have ever had, a great friend named Brian. One of the most important lessons I learned in my friendship with Brian is that speaking truth into someone's life requires emotional consent. It was one of our semi annual check ins, and we were sharing our normal ups, downs, and prayer points, of course, except this time, Brian had to share something specific with me that came through a dream he had. Now, after my joking with him that only old men dream dreams, from a Bible verse in the Old Testament, that is, he started off by saying what he was about to share was not a criticism, but meant as an avenue for growth for me. Now, when someone says that to you, it kind of perks your ears up. I trust Brian, so I said go for it. His dream went like this: Brian and I were backstage, where just around the curtain sat a large crowd of people. On the stage were angels with awards. They were handing them out to several recipients, two of which were Brian and myself. Now, Brian was called onto the stage where the angel presented him with his award. The crowd cheered and he graciously accepted the award and the applause. The next named called was mine, except the angel who was presenting my award was only 2 to 3 feet tall. I walked out onto the stage to receive the award and had to kneel down next to the angel in order to accept it. And at that point, his dream ended. So I asked Brian what he thought it meant, and he said, well, I believe it means that God truly desires to give you what you are asking for, but for you to receive it, you need to humble yourself. If you humble yourself, God will bless you with what you are asking for. Now, what he was referring to was a need that I expressed in a humbling conversation we had had previously. And at this point, I wish I could say I was falling over thankful for the words of rebuke and encouragement from my best friend. I didn't respond at the moment, but only thanked him for sharing the dream. And later, when I started thinking about it, I got pretty upset. I am humbling myself. Why would he say those things? Hmm. Well, it took me several days and weeks to process and accept what I heard from Brian, but as I began to soften to it, I realized my very reaction was proof that I needed to humble myself. An old proverb came to mind: wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy. So there's two things I want to share. One, I needed to humble myself to receive helpful feedback from a trusted friend, and I needed to provide emotional consent before he could share that feedback. So often we just offer advice without thinking about whether we have the relationship with someone that gives us the ability to share it. That requires humility. Also, to receive that feedback, it requires humility. Here is the practical: remain humble. It is necessary in order to give or receive feedback, even from trusted friends. And in doing this, we will live every day with intention. Bye for now.